Hello, it is 2 a.m. on April 15th, 2019, and yes, it's 2 a.m., but we're having major weather problems that are getting closer and closer to our area with this very strong squall line that is approaching our area, and there have already been tornado warnings. Looks like there was a tornado warning in upstate near Binghamton, and severe thunderstorm warnings all along this line. And the bad news is, folks, they've issued a tornado watch now for our area. So there is a tornado watch now in effect for Nassau County, all New Jersey. Does not look like it includes Suffolk County at this point. But as you can see, we are in an immediate severe weather threat. So I'm going to have to follow this all night through the morning for you because we have a tornado watch. 74 remains valid until 7 a.m. for the following areas. So in Connecticut, it's Fairfield. In New Jersey, it includes northeast New Jersey, and it also includes the entire state, and southeast New York. Suffolk is not listed, but Nassau is, as well as New York City. We are in a severe a tornado watch, severe thunderstorms possible through the morning as we're dealing with this extremely anomalous air mass across our area for April, and this is almost unheard of. So 56 degrees. We also have very strong south winds at 21 gusting to 29 miles an hour with the fog. Visibility a quarter of a mile at Farmingdale right now, and then we can go and look at JFK Airport, where it looks like the visibility has gone. Oh, that's LaGuardia. 58. I'm trying to get to JFK, get an observation from that. It keeps giving us LaGuardia. I'm trying to get to JFK if that's possible. We'll try one more time. So visibility still 0.13 of a mile, practically nothing. 56 degrees. And look at the winds. South at 31, gusting to 38. So we have a very strong, what you call LLJ, or low-level jet, across our area this morning. This is providing the energy for all the severe weather that we're right now under the gun for. And in Toms River, it's even worse. 67 degrees. And the dew point is 66 degrees. South wind at 16, gusting to 28. These are almost unheard of conditions for April. This climate change thing is really scary, and I'm going to really have a real rant about this sometime tomorrow, about the lack of urgency from our media as we really face this severe climate emergency, global climate emergency that we are experiencing. So here's the radar. I'll show you the radar here, a wider view of the radar. So you can see here, we'll take out these weather stations and we'll just take a look at the radar here, and let me just put this into motion. We'll do radar 5 times here, motion here. So here is the line approaching our area. So it looks like it's probably going to be getting close to Philadelphia in the next couple of hours. This is going to hit right in the middle of the morning rush for people later this morning. And I expect massive, there could be flooding, there could be service disruptions on the trains with this line of thunderstorms that is approaching our area. And you could see, just look at this line, solid line. I will put the weather stations in here, and we'll take a look at some of the temperatures here. If we can, I think I can keep the weather stations in while we do this. So let's just hang in there. I don't want to have this in motion while we're looking at the weather station. So you can see on Long Island it's in the 50s and 60 and low 60s. It's unheard of for this hour at night. But in New Jersey, you could see you're dealing with temperatures still in the mid 60s, very high humidity, summer-like air mass in April, almost unheard of. And of course, when we look at the dew points, you'll see these dew points in the mid and upper 60s across New Jersey. And even have some 70-degree dew points as we go around Philadelphia. So this is the kind of humid air mass, tropical air mass, that we are dealing with across our area this morning. And like I said, this is unheard of. Here's another graphic to show you what we're dealing with. You can see this intense low-level jet coming straight out of the tropics all the way up into our area. Temperatures very warm for April, very unusual. I've never been through an April like this that I can ever remember. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm meaning to move this over. We're going to zoom in here and just show you this. So again, you can see here these very warm temperatures, even warmer in Jersey. And if we look at the humidity here, you will see that we have very high dew points as well. So very unusually warm, humid air. And you can see where the front is right here in the squall line that is setting up right ahead of it. And if we take a look at thunderstorms and we look at the Cape, this is, you can see the elevated Cape here, which is definitely indicative of a very good, ripe environment for severe thunderstorms. And then we can look at Cape Shear, which this is where tornadoes are possible. And then there's wind shear too, which again is severe. We're in red here almost, so very high wind shear levels. And we could also look at lifted index as well, and you can see some of these. There could be hail. These thunderstorms are capable of producing hail. We'll put the radar on here. So here's a look at the radar on here, and these thunderstorms are capable of producing hail, high wind gusts, obviously lots of lightning, heavy rain, flooding, and of course the possibility of a tornado in April in the Northeast. So we are witnessing weather history. This is never, I can't ever remember this happening. And this is all due to the climate change because the jet streams are so wavy and so diffuse. And we are in a climate emergency. It's just getting out of hand. So here you go. This shows here all that warmth that's literally just being thrown up the eastern seaboard. Meanwhile, it's beautiful in Flagstaff. They have great dry air. And that, the East Coast may become uninhabitable due to climate change or large portions of it anyway. And of course, we are not even getting into tropical season yet. So those people on the South Shore who think they have their enclave, still, that's an area that's at high risk for impacts due to climate change, which I'll talk about in tomorrow's, or should I say later today, the climate change rant. But you can see this warm air just coming all the way up the East Coast here. Very unusual, very unusual. So, and the reason why this is all happening again, if we look at the wind speed, and we can actually look at the wind speed first at the surface to show you that low-level jet. Again, we have these very high wind speeds. If we go and we look at and move this to wind gusts, you'll see wind gusts are even higher. And this is a very strong subtropical jet that's coming across, or a low-level jet that's coming across, transporting all this warm air straight from the tropics. But the reason why this is happening is because when we look at the jet stream, we'll go to look at the jet stream right here. You'll see what the problem is. Look at the mess that this jet stream is. Look at how diffuse and wavy it is. So you see the jet stream here is going into the tropics, and then it's shooting way up into Canada. And literally all the heat transport, all this heat is getting transported in the Arctic. So you're going to have a lot of ice melting. Again, any ice melt that occurs over land, Greenland has ice melt, Antarctica, that raises the sea levels. And, well, that I'll save for later when I talk about it in that rant. But you can see here, this is the jet stream here. I can take a look at another look here. At this one, too, if you want. But you get the idea here. This is where the levels where the jet stream is. And you can see just how diffuse the jet stream is. The waviness of the jet stream is all because, and the diffusion is because of the warming Arctic. So as I've explained to you before in other videos, as the Arctic warms very rapidly, the difference between the Arctic and the equator becomes less and less, and therefore that difference is what fuels the jet stream. So the smaller of difference there is, the jet stream becomes more disorganized, more wavy, and we may see eventually the jet streams disappear completely. So this is what we're dealing with here. A very bad situation for humanity on this planet. And let me just put this back to the temperature here. So again, you can see the warm air that is being pushed up by this storm, and this is all, look, it's coming right from the tropics all the way up the East Coast. So that's what we're dealing with. Again, we have a tornado watch in effect for our area, and tornadoes are possible into the morning as we're dealing with this very unusual pattern. I'm just going to go look at the power outage situation. Probably will be much more power outages by the morning, but I just want to look at this right now. We only have 159 power outages right now, and I think it's mostly in Valley Stream due to that plane crash there. But fortunately, no one was killed. So, but anyway, we're dealing with very unusual weather this morning, and severe weather possible. So again, if you're going out in the morning, please be aware that it's going to be very rough. And I'll keep you updated on this situation as these storms get closer, because we are in for a really stormy morning.